And there we have it. The red light is on, on,
Alive.
on, on. I made my own sound effects. Ladies and gentlemen, we're almost there. We are just under 2 weeks away from WrestleMania 40 live in Philadelphia. And we are that much closer to our WrestleMania 40 preview show, which is going to be absolutely massive. But until then, there's one question that we really, really, really must ask ourselves as wrestling fans as we enjoy this WrestleMania season. Good brothers, we will answer that question today. And that question is,
What is that?
are you really ready for WrestleMania? We're going to find out right after the intro. Fellas, let's do this.
Houston, we have a problem.
Oi! Woo! And there it is. Welcome to the Wrestling Realm Now podcast, where we take a deeper dive into the world of professional wrestling. Now, you can watch all of our Wrestling Realm content anytime on youtube.com/the Wrestling Realm. Follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram, Threads, X, and Facebook at Wrestling Realm. Like, subscribe, and engage in the conversation with us. You can download all of our audio content as well on Anchor, Stitcher, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. And watch us and subscribe to our Twitch channel at The Wrestling Realm. I'm your host, the big man, the man that's ready for WrestleMania 40 like never before, the realness himself, the real Dwayne Allen, the big man. He's your host, the super producer, Brother Hugh, has the third, A to the A to the S, T to the H to the E, 3 to the R, to the D, in the wrong spot. Let's switch him over real quick. Bam, there he is. Brother Hugh in the building, super producer, championship culture, and he is your host, the Belt King. Not just any guy, but Brandon the Guy. In the building today, championship culture, live and in living color. In the building, everybody's mic'd up, the headphones up, and he is in the building. He's dressed to impress. He's the man. He's the real myth, and he's the legend for a lot of reasons. You heard his voice on the track? It is the one, the only, the heart and soul of what we do here. Hollywood. Brian H. Waters in the building. Gentlemen, how you feeling?
Hey.
Welcome to the Wrestling Realm.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling marvelous.
Now,
Did you
because
say
Brother Hugh-
welcome? As in
Yeah.
like welcome? I'm just
Oh, yeah.
saying.
3 times.
Okay.
Brother Hugh
Three
said he's
times.
feeling marvelous, but guess what? You can feel marvelous as well. How do you do so? Head over to WrestlingRealm.com for all Wrestling Realm apparel and merchandise. So if you're looking for t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more, if you want to support the brand, if you just want to flex that you are a proud wrestling fan, WrestlingRealm.com is where you can do so. So anything you're looking for, t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, stickers, more. And guess what? Pretty soon we will be doing some live unboxings of all of our Wrestling Realm merchandise just to give you guys a closer look into what we're doing. We're going to be designing some new things, adding some new concepts and ideas to better expand our palette of fashion sense when it comes down to merchandise and this wrestling podcast and or show. But ladies and gentlemen, that's not it, because guess what? For all exclusive shows and bonus material, subscribe to our Patreon channel. That's right, we have a Patreon at patreon.com/the wrestling_realm. Don't forget the underscore. So if you're looking for all of our exclusive shows and bonus material, trust me, you can subscribe for just as low as $1. We have Brian Just Thoughts. We have Realness Reacts coming soon, and so many more different exclusive things that you just can't find on our regular channels at youtube.com/the wrestling realm. But your patreon.com/the wrestling_realm will be available for all exclusive shows and bonus material. Now, listen, I know that our Patreon is made for exclusive shows and bonus material, but you know what's not exclusive? The opportunity to save yourself a few dollars, because the Wrestling Realm has partnered with SeatGeek. So if you would like to purchase tickets to concerts, live shows, sporting events, and more, hint, hint, WrestleMania, Head over to SeatGeek.com and save yourself $20 off your ticket purchase for any one-time purchase of $50 or more using the promo code. Guess what it is? Wrestling Realm. That's right. Wrestling Realm, all one word. I'm not sure if you need caps, but regardless, SeatGeek.com for all your ticket purchase needs. And like I said, do yourself a favor. Save yourself $20 on any ticket purchase one time of $50 or more. Once again, that is SeatGeek.com. Use promo code Wrestling Realm. Now, with that being said, if you'd like to advertise with the Wrestling Realm, you want to join up with us, please contact us at wrestlingrealm@gmail.com. So you can email us and with the subject line advertise and just, put a few notes in there and explain what you would like to partner up with the Wrestling Realm is about. We can send you a few sheets. We can talk some logistics, and guess what? We can advertise your show, what you got coming up, all those things and more. So if you want to advertise with us, don't be shy. Send us an email at wrestlingrealm@gmail.com. Don't forget to put the word advertise in the subject line so we know exactly what it is that you are emailing us about. But speaking of advertising, you know exactly what we're about to advertise now. Hit it. Season 2 of Championship Culture is clearly underway, live and in living color. I'm saying that because CM Punk is one of the subjects on our show tonight, so it fits. But YouTube.com/The Wrestling Realm playlists Championship Culture, where you can catch up on all of Season 1, and most importantly, you can dig into Season 2 of Championship Culture. Now, guess what? We have a few announcements today in regard to Championship Culture. Isn't that right, Brother Brandon, Brother Hugh? Would you like to tell the people what you would like to announce about
I gotta get
Championship
in championship mode. Hold on. Championship mode. There's a spot up there. There's an empty spot up there too. If you see that
is
right
it?
there?
Is that an empty spot?
I just wanted to let y'all know.
Is that an empty spot for a reason? I
Empty
wonder.
spot. Yeah.
That's like championship belt you got, Brother Hugh.
I know. I'm feeling kind of comfortable too. Thank you. Just let it go.
Are we swinging?
Nobody say anything. Nobody say anything.
Okay,
Just let it rock. There it is.
Can I hum?
There it is. You good.
You can never go wrong.
All right, cut it off. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you had a chance to catch up on Season 2 of Championship Culture, on Tuesday, not only did we make a ground-shaking announcement, but on Sunday, our journey started on Sunday. Let's start with Sunday. Can we start with Sunday, realness? Can we start with Sunday?
Oh, man, sir.
What
Do you
happened
want to
Sunday, Brady?
So
What
on
happened on
Sunday, let me say this, and you know what? I always say sometimes the silence is what kills people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those Championship Culture boys were part of Four Sides of the Ring 3-count trivia contest, right? And every time our name came up, people was talking about us, right? And I loved it,
smack.
Yeah, they were saying, wanting to take us down and everything like that. And of course,
did somebody cut a promo on you guys?
They cut a promo.
Somebody
Dennis, you remember those days, don't you, buddy?
And as much as we wanted to come up there, we said, no, let's just be silent. But in all seriousness, it was so much fun to go through each round. It was stressful. But at the end of the day, those Championship Culture boys pulled it out and became the inaugural 3-count trivia champions. So as you can see from this, the Wrestling Realm presented Championship Culture. And I want to give a shout out to everybody that participated, especially all the teams that took time out of their day and made it through. It was not easy. This competition was not easy at all. So anybody that's hoping to be in the next round, understand you went for some work, some frustration, some stress.
Yes, you are.
But it was totally fun. Everything was all fun and games. I love the trash talking. I love we're going to get this. Even with the wrestling wrap up, they brought their A game. And when I tell you, most of these teams were in it to win it. But I think that somehow when you start talking about championships, we could not let somebody else take those. It's only one title, but the title's coming home.
I'm just saying, like,
I got a spot up there in the corner.
It just fits, bro.
It just worked.
It's like what we said before. It's a lifestyle, right?
Every belt has a story.
Every belt,
Every belt.
not just
So this
one.
belt,
Every belt.
yes. So then that's what Sunday was. And
Mhm.
then because we was on the championship high, coming up to the anniversary. And the first anniversary is always something special, right? So in
Yeah.
order to commemorate this, a whole year's worth of you allowing us to tell you every belt has a story. We're gonna spin that into every belt has a story. And I can't wait to hear yours. So what are we gonna do? And I'm waiting for Dwayne's notes, right? Because I want to know how many entries he thinks he's gonna have. Sir, you cannot submit 17 different videos from 17 different belts with 17 different stories. It's every
I'm
belt
interested in
has
that.
a
Hold on.
story.
Time out.
17
Okay.
different hats.
Throw that out.
Right.
All right.
So
There's
what we
that.
want you to do by April 15th, send us a 2-minute or less clip to championshipculture2023@gmail.com. Send us your clip. So because I always say every belt has a story, and I like to hear yours. What we're going to do with that, we're going to compile those into a big mega episode so we can start telling these stories of everybody's belt. But every time you send us a video, that gives you an entry and a chance to win everybody's favorite belt. I didn't say their top belt, but everybody's favorite belt, a big gold. So, yes, there you go. If you send us an entry for that, 2 minutes or less to championshipculture2023@gmail.com, by April 15th, you will get a chance to enter to win the drawing for a big gold. Now,
Yep.
here's the caveat. I think you get to choose the strap, whether it be brown or black, but that's gonna come later. That's gonna be a surprise that I might have just ruined. But that's one way to enter. Another way, go over to youtube.com/the wrestling realm and subscribe. We get a notification when we got a new subscriber. So we'll know if you subscribe or not. That gets you another entry. And lastly, if you go over to championship culture _ on Instagram and follow that page, you will get another entry. So you can have 3 chances to win a big gold, which we're going to have a super mega show. What's the date here for that show?
I believe it's April 30th. I believe.
April 30th. And we normally don't give away the titles of these shows, but I'm going to tell you what the title of this show will be. Big Gold versus the World.
Oh,
and
boy.
where did that come from? So when the realness took over championship culture, we're going to just say that. He wanted to do a whole WCW theme. And I know I'm taking a lot of the time, and I know we got to get to the meat and potatoes of WrestleMania.
Come on,
But when he wanted to take over, we started to
Mhm.
dive into the big gold. And to do this justice, it's going to have to be the big gold versus every other world title. Because you can't just say big gold versus this big, because it's always been big gold versus everybody else. So enter to win, because we're going to do the drawing live on 4:30. So, Brother Realness, I hope your calendar is clear. Hollywood, I hope your calendar is clear, because all of y'all that say stuff about big gold, we're going to discuss it. Oh, look, he's checking his calendar now.
Uh-oh.
And Hollywood, I'm going to give him a caveat, because Dwayne got 5 shows that this is going to count as one of his.
Mhm.
Hollywood, you can do as many, everybody has a story, as you like, to get as many entries as you want. Because I know how many belts you have. And I think you shared some of those stories, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
And we're waiting to hit that ECW belt, the Bryan's belt. That's the story that I think that people need to hear.
Oh boy, I can tell that
That's-
story.
That's the belt I think people want to hear.
That's
So-
the one I want to hear. I want him to publicly say that to everybody. Have that story, but this is
That's it.
And as soon as he talks about a story, all you're gonna hear is this.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And that's
Mhm.
all I want to just I'm just gonna
So
put it
yeah,
out.
so sorry to take up so much time, but we had an eventful week. So
You guys did have a very eventful week. So I'm glad you had a
I'm waiting
chance.
for the notes.
Okay, what are you saying? Like, what do you what makes you think I have notes? I mean, the show was rather short this week, but guess what? I've got notes.
It's a
Yeah,
short
everybody-
page too. You see that? Look, it's a little
Yeah,
page.
right.
I just did a short show. So I got
I thought it was an index card or something.
right. Since Brother Guy and them said we're gonna have a show to say thank you to all the fans about supporting championship culture in this year and all that kind of stuff. I was like, you know
He's
what?
doing it in your voice.
I was like,
He is.
you know what? I got this. So in response to the address that you gave out for celebrating a year of championship culture and diving into season 2. My notes simply consist of you're welcome. You thank the fans, so I'm telling you, you're welcome. And there's that. That's my notes for this week for championship culture. But if you want to check out this address and more of season 2 of championship culture, and guess what? Sneak and watch all of season 1. Head over to youtube.com/the wrestling realm. Playlist championship culture. Catch up on all the championship glory you are missing. If you are in love with wrestling belts, there's literally one show to go to that always talks about, take one guess, wrestling belts, and that is championship culture. So congratulations to you brothers. You guys are doing a lot. You're reaping the rewards of the hard work you guys put into it day in and day out. So I'm happy to see the brand grow and what you guys have done for the wrestling realm. So congratulations to you brothers. I appreciate you guys.
Well, thank you, sir.
With that being said, Brian H., ring the bell. Ladies and gentlemen, for listening, you heard the bell has been rung. So that means it is time to officially start our show. And usually the way we start our show is every time we come in each week, we have a certain segment. And it's called What Did You Watch? Where the brothers, we sit back and we talk about what we kind of got into this week to get our minds and our hearts ready to talk about the show. Now, mind you, we're right in the thick of WrestleMania season, and we are only 2 weeks away. Now seems like the appropriate time for me to ask the good brothers once again, what did you watch? So join us in the chat. Please put us in there. Tell us what you watched this week. Brothers, what did you watch this week as we are right in the thick of wrestling? Like you guys, see the brothers are going, Brian H. just got to work it. Like championship culture's got to work it. So there's a lot going on for WrestleMania week. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna talk about the reason we're here to discuss, are you ready for WrestleMania? So I know you guys probably had to do a lot this week to prepare going into next week and then the week after that. But gentlemen, what did you watch this week as we get ready for WrestleMania?
Well, let's say it started. I know I'm gonna give a shout out to a good brother by the name of John Finkel. I got my hands on an advanced copy of The Macho Man. So reading this book, he did an incredible job. Actually gonna meet with him in Philly. Did an incredible job on it, talking about the history, learning a lot more about like Macho Man's obsession with baseball and his obsession with like fitness, and his dad, learning about his dad doing like 6,000 sit-ups, setting the world record, and how he was heavy into calisthenics. But I got to the points, obviously the parts we're fond of, the Macho Man versus Hogan, the Savage Steamboat, and how he was, putting that match together, him and both of them. So it made me go back and watch the moments, But I wanted to go back and look at WrestleMania 8 and also WrestleMania 3. I wanted to see the compare and contrast. So that's what I watched this week. I'm pretty sure there'll be more. As right now, I just threw on WrestleMania 5. We was having a fun going back and forth about WrestleManias because Ciendo, shout out to her, being a huge representative of the state of New Jersey. She's not letting nobody live with calling 29 and 35 a New York WrestleMania. So you can see how you imagine how that went.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and I kept saying, I said, well, you had 4. And she said, well, how many did you get? I said, well, I'm defending you. And I said, first of all, I get a pass as we, give our thoughts and condolences to everybody affected from the tragedies here in Baltimore. There's nobody, as I said, y'all can't slander us for at least a month.
There you go. Got to keep the slander to yourself. Like, show some respect and some grace.
But the best part, as I flex my PhD in WrestleMania, is always going back and looking at the the celebrities and all the people who made appearances. I know for me, it was very fun seeing a lot of black people throughout the years. People like Michelle Williams, people like Boyz II Men, Gladys Knight, Aretha Franklin. What's her name? Tanashi. Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, she fine. As I was watching WrestleMania 33,
I was sing her song and I stopped myself.
I got to give a huge shout out to Yolanda Gimmicks 247, who
Yeah. My favorite
publicly
designer.
announced that she will be having a Fashion Mania this next week, next Thursday. So when y'all making y'all plans, here's what I want y'all to do. Go to WWE Raw, then go to Fashion Mania, and cap off your night with Wale Mania on Thursday.
boy.
So Thursday gonna be busy, but I promise you, it will be fun. I can't reveal some things, but like
Spill the beans.
Kaz came on the Masked Man. Kaz came on Wednesday Worldwide today and said you definitely want to be there early. So,
Bro, spill the beans. You're a heel.
Right, I was gonna say you can't tease it.
I just say we can't announce the guests. So usually it's always like he said, that surprise pop in wrestling. Yeah, I remember we got a surprise pop Monday night.
There you go.
And you remember how you felt like when you was watching Raw and you saw that, you heard the pop and it sounded so good. That's why you'll want to be surprised. That's why you'll want to get the Wale Mania early.
Oh boy. I feel like oh boy. Like all I hear is this. I think Brian H might have gave us a nice little gem. Shout out to Hollywood. Brian H with a little tidbit. The Wale Mania early, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Courtesy of Brian H Waters. This is
what we trying to tell people. Bobby the Brain Heenan said it best. Listen to me, you go to the top. He said this at WrestleMania 6 after Andre the Giant slapped the hell out of him. And you don't listen to me, you never heard from again.
Oh man, if we could just screenshot you just doing that was perfect. Brother Hugh, brother Brandon, what did you gentlemen watch this week?
Well, I got into binge watching Rivals and Legends.
Ooh.
And it's funny that you said something about Macho Man. I went down the rabbit hole again with Macho Man.
Yes,
Looked
Brother
at
Hugh is rabbit
all
hole.
of his promos. You know, I usually do it anyway.
Yeah.
But this man was a master on the microphone with cutting promos. Like, it's just amazing. Like hearing him talk. Like it's just crazy. The charisma, the wordplay, everything was there. Like amazing. So that's basically what I did.
One time for the fans, Brother Hugh.
Oh yeah.
Seemed appropriate. It seemed appropriate.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How about you, Brother Brandon? Brother Guy. What did you watch this week, sir?
Well, you know one thing I watched, and it's going to make everybody mad. X-Men 97.
I'm not mad.
And then the other thing, I went down the biggest YouTube rabbit hole I could ever find because being stressed out about 3 sides of the ring, not knowing what the categories were. And then when they gave us a hint, I swear I watched every top 10 list, every person that ever first titles ever, the PWI 5, everything I could find for the PWI 500. I messed up my whole YouTube algorithm in like 2 days. And I was just like, I was watching from What Culture to Wrestle Talk. Everybody that had a top something list, I just kept watching it and I just kept playing it. So when I tell you I got the most random facts in my head, I'm like, then I was trying not to break off and like, oh, well, let me go watch this. Let me go watch. And I was like, oh, I forgot the Hall of Fame was a break. It was a break in time that there wasn't a Hall of Fame. And I was like, that's why we think so many people are in it because we had almost like a 10-year break. And I was like, ooh. And then it was like, I think it was like, was it 4 some I know it was 13 and 14 had like so many people at one time. And it was like, dang, that was one massive class. And it was like, so they stressed me out with that. And when I tell you,
he was being watching Macho Man, you was being Macho Man.
I went down every rabbit hole and I was like this. And I told you, I gotta call you back. I gotta watch another video. I was like, I can't talk right now. I gotta watch
pages and pages of notes, brother.
Oh,
Hugh, page 45. What does it say?
Oh, look.
Arm drag.
And when I tell you, it was so bad, I kept reliving like the PWI 500s. I was like, oh yeah, this was the year they got it wrong. Oh, this is the year they did it right.
Yeah.
And then it was like that helped us. And so I was like, remember Okada was number 2 and he picked, we're not gonna talk about that. All right, but then he was number 1. Yep. And then they asked, who was number 1 this year? I said, we can't say the name. Moving on. So,
right.
yeah. So X-Men 97 was my highlight, and then those rabbit holes. And once you go down a YouTube rabbit hole, you can spin off 12 different ways. And I was like, oh man, I forgot that John Moxley was the COVID Wrestler of the Year in 2020. You know what I mean? For the PW. I was like, he was the only one. I was like, oh yeah. And then I went back and watched his debut, and I was like, I thought it was better than this. When he debuted at Double or Nothing. No, I'm saying I thought it was better because he debuted with so much fanfare. And it was like, watching it, I'm like, oh, that's really all he did? I was like, I remember it differently, but then I said, go back to the list. So,
it was me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen.
It doesn't hold up. I'm just going to say it doesn't hold up.
I don't know why I got into it, but I think I happened to see a random Shane Douglas clip of Shane Douglas saying and Taz and ECW. I don't remember what pay-per-view it was, but I saw one, and then before you know, I looked up and I'm watching old ECW pay-per-views. I was like, this is awkward. This is supposed to be WrestleMania week, and I just couldn't help myself. But like I said, I just every once in a while you got a taste for some classic wrestling, and ECW's presentation of the guys they had so much chemistry with each other. It has nothing to do with WrestleMania, but it's the truth. That's the rabbit hole that I went down. But you know what? We've been waiting so long for this WrestleMania, and I'm exhausted already before we even got started.
Yep.
And we got to go into it next week, and it's just going to be one of those insane shows that we even try to diagnose and try to break down WrestleMania 40. But tonight we have to answer the question is, are you ready for WrestleMania? It's because there's so many implications. There's so many things happening. And to me, this is going to be a WrestleMania like we've never seen before. This is the first one under Triple H's hands where he has his hands completely on it. He's got some of his friends involved in it, like The Croc. The Rock's involved, and they're doing things. They're dropping hints. They got new production. There's a lot going on. But
that new production is awesome.
It's insane. That
is
good riddance to you, Kevin Dunn. Should have been got rid of you.
Right. Yeah. You remember I sent you that clip? I said, they're doing the thing. They're doing the one continuous. I was like, oh.
No doubt. They're doing stuff. They're dropping nuggets, Easter eggs. I feel like Bray Wyatt kicked it off. And then all of a sudden now that's almost like the daily routine. But one of the things that's going on WrestleMania comes from our next segment, one of our famous segments that we always do on this show. It's called Good for Business, Bad for Business. If you want to sponsor Good for Business, Bad for Business, remember, email us at wrestlingrum@gmail.com. Now back to your regular scheduled program. Good for Business, Bad for Business. It's a segment we do each week where we take something, pick a subject or something, a topic or something that happened in the world of professional wrestling, and we discuss amongst ourselves, was this good for business or was it bad for business? Now, last week was a doozy. Brian Nates was on one. Yeah, it was a very thought-provoking good for business, bad for business. But this week, our good for business, bad for business comes from one of the biggest draws in pro wrestling history, one of Brandon's favorite all-time wrestlers of all time.
Yep.
And we have to discuss this as we ask ourselves the bigger question of, are you ready for WrestleMania? But before then, we have to discuss this. CM Punk getting involved somehow in this year's WrestleMania as he is still repairing his torn, was it torn bicep or tricep? Which one was it?
His arm.
Okay, his torn arm. But yet he has found his way. First of all, anytime wrestling is in Chicago, you got to book CM Punk. That's one.
Right.
CM Punk shows up. He kind of makes his presence known. And it seems as if, wait a minute, CM Punk is going to be at WrestleMania. And guess what? Somehow, some way, he is going to be involved. So it's like, wait a minute. Is this a good idea? Is this too soon for CM Punk? Do they need CM Punk to draw WrestleMania on an already loaded and stacked card? Is his presence at WrestleMania going to make that much more of a difference, especially for the World Heavyweight Championship picture? His back and forth with both Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. There's a lot of dynamics that we have to get into here, but the question still remains: CM Punk being involved with this year's WrestleMania, is this good for business, bad for business? Gentlemen, who wants to go first? Who wants to tackle us? I was going to say Brandon, but he usually shies away from CM Punk early on because
I'll go first.
Brother Brandon, good for business, bad for business. CM Punk involved WrestleMania 40 with a torn bicep, tricep, something wrong with his arm.
So I'm going to say this because as we finally deprogrammed our mind from the previous regime or whatever the era is that we want to call it, and now that we're in the Triple H era, Well, let's call it the dust era, since you like
I
to
was
say
about
the
to
Triple H
say
dust.
the dust.
The dust era, right? Triple H has done such a great job at having us give us the stuff that we didn't know that we wanted. Keeping him in this conversation is good for business because you're like making all these different threads like he does with any superstar. Triple H 1 minute will have you saying, I want this match. Oh, but wait, I could have that match. Oh, I didn't think about that either. It's keeping him in that conversation because Drew kept him in the conversation as much as he could, but now having him in some kind of insert. Do you want to see him and Drew? Do you want to see him and Seth? Do you want to see him in The Rock? Because who knows what's going to happen? He's planting so many seeds that any way that it goes, you want to see it. And you didn't even know that you wanted him to be there to insert, especially when he made that comment about, I've never had to put another man's name on my shirt to sell a t-shirt.
That was nice.
Yeah, and the jabs they were throwing was more important than what they could do in the ring. So keeping them in that conversation, I think is good because post-Mania, these are the next feuds that we are setting up because he's not only going to book us the biggest Mania, we don't know what we want afterwards, and he doesn't know what he wants to give us afterwards either because what if The Rock has to go off? What if Seth gets hurt? What if Drew get hurt? We have so many different options that we can go different ways. So I think it's good that he's been inserted, and I think it's good for business because he's physically there.
I like it. I like it. I think him being there is definitely plus. Is the Wayne muted on purpose?
Oh, I'm sorry. I am.
I thought I was talking.
No, it's good. That was smart though. You picked up on real quick. I was talking. I realized. Oh, I'm muted. Sorry. I was going to say one of the comments that Brother Brandon had made was that excuse me, not Brother Brandon, Brother Raj, Uncle Raj from the Flex On podcast. He said anytime CM Punk is on TV is great for business.
Be there.
And I said that in regard to your statement, Brother Brandon. You said him physically being there is always going to be good for business. But Brandon, since you did jump in once again, that's sharp man, very sharp. Just sharp with the save. Jump right in, sir. Good for business, bad for business. CM Punk at WrestleMania 40. Is this what we need right now? Is this the right move? Him being involved and not necessarily being clear to wrestle, but just his presence alone, is that good enough? Is this good for business or bad for business?
Well, I think he's made of glass, so he got to make his money somehow. I think he needs to
that
be
much
there.
book got you.
No. See, he comes at he want to come at Drew McIntyre the wrong way, and McIntyre. See, honestly, it's great for business. Okay. You know what? Everybody been talking. A lot of people have learned over the course of this past year is actually almost 2 years when you think about it.
Oh wow!
And I've been saying this. We've been eating McDonald's for so long, and it's been good. But now we've been getting filet mignon, and as we get this filet mignon, sometimes we don't even know that it's good. I'm gonna do a good one. I'm gonna do a good one because Brother Rod is listening. We've been getting that Jimmy seafood steak that Brother Raj promised us. And you remember, we was eating Longhorn, Texas Longhorn, and Outback steaks, right? But then Brother Raj kept telling us, "You got to come to Jimmy's Seafood. You got to come to Jimmy's. Jimmy's got the best steak." And I was like, "Okay, bro."
Definitely kept saying that.
I hear you. And the moment for WrestleMania 34, I had that steak. It changed my life. And
mine too.
Amen.
And I bring that up because as I sit back and look at this, right? People been saying, "Oh, CM Punk." Well, now, no, Seth Rollins is more concerned about why is he over here, worried about Cody's business. But then you got Drew McIntyre right here breathing down his neck. Then here comes CM Punk. So it looks like it's more about McIntyre and Punk as opposed to Rollins. I love all of it. Bring them all together, put everybody in, mix it all up, because at the end of the day, the goal is to be the guy, and you need to be trying to step on everybody's neck in order to get there. And CM Punk being there is good for business. One, because you invested in whatever amount of dollars you invested in him, right? He wants to be around there. Clearly, he's hanging out at NXT with all his kids and stuff. You know, him and April got, they got 2 daughters down there, and they're hanging out, making sure they're doing good. He's getting involved in the Trick Mellow, which is cooking right now. He's in the promo, he's in that video package, which should be the main event. Do the right thing, Shawn Michaels. So you look at that, he's down there.
Do the right thing, Shawn Michaels.
Right, yeah, open with Alien off and end with that. That's how you book it.
Yeah, and you sit back and you see, like, if he can talk, because that's I've been wanting to say
that's what we pay to see. Keep it
right.
Absolutely.
Because I've been wanting to say I think CM Punk's best mic work is when he's got a gripe about something. But
of course,
hey, if he don't, still, that's what we want to see. Him being out there is good for business. It brings shine to the world heavyweight title. It also keeps Seth Rollins on edge a little bit. I hope Seth Rollins loses the belt, and I hope Drew McIntyre. But now we care more about Drew more than we've probably ever, maybe since before when he first became champion, mainly because we wanted him to take the belt off Lesnar because we wanted to see the thing. But what I like is that, you got Drew out here. Like Brandon said, said never had to use somebody else's face to sell a shirt, which was funny. But Drew's comeback should have been, well, you had to sell the I'm a Paul Heyman guy shirt, so that's somebody else's name.
There you go. That's what Sharpness I'm talking about. That was Sharp. I'm talking about.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, and the thing is, Drew, like, Drew ain't to be played with. What did he say? He said, man, what they gonna do? Hit me in the mouth? They're not Brock Lesnar. They're not Bobby Lashley. Like,
no, what did he say about for somebody that doesn't drink, a lot about rehab? I said,
yeah, right.
That came from, that was in the punch in the gut.
How long was he holding on to that one?
That's because he spent the year facing Gunther. He was getting slapped around.
He just angry.
Right.
He knows what real pain is.
Exactly. He said, man,
my chest was red for 2 months straight.
Right. And this is the run we're gonna tell. And then after SummerSlam, he was out there, with a little bit of libations, talking about, Shayna and Ronda killed the crowd. We couldn't even do nothing. That was the most boring match. And in all fairness, because I had to go back and watch that one on TV, it wasn't their fault. It's just like, you can't do MMA rules, bro, in a stadium.
That should have been a Monday Night Raw or Friday night attraction.
That should have been on Raw Underground.
Or ouch. But you got to do something like gimmicky, like put a cage around him or something to keep, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
keep it in a special. They could have did a cinematic match for that.
Bingo. Yeah. Talk about it. Yeah. But I think
choreograph it.
I think this is good for business, CM Punk, because people want to see him there. We're not going to act like his t-shirts don't sell. Chalkline just dropped a fire jacket. So you got him on the roster. He got to be in WrestleMania somehow. And I want to see him. I would rather see him as special guest referee. I don't want to see him as commentary.
No. I don't want to see him as the ref. Just let him be. Let him be in the commentary.
I don't trust it.
Really do.
But go ahead, brother. What did you say, Brian H?
I said, or special enforcer even better because he got to stand outside.
Yeah,
stop Damian Priest.
Something
like Dylan said.
Something about this seems off to me. But go ahead, brother. You good for business, bad for business. CM Punk at WrestleMania 40. What say you, good brother? Is this a good thing, or is this maybe a questionable thing? Maybe not a bad thing, but maybe is this what we really need right now? But what say you? Good for business, bad for business. CM Punk at WrestleMania 40.
Is good for business for the reasons that everybody else said. For the most part, everybody wants to see CM Punk. That's why he was brought in here. That's why they invested that money into him. Mm-hmm. To me, he's kind of like, I would say Cody is the people's champ, but CM Punk is pretty much almost a people's champ too.
Yeah, he kind of is. Yeah.
So, I mean, of course they was in Chicago last night, but look, anytime CM Punk hits the screen, like Rod said, the numbers are going through the roof. So you got to have him there. And to be honest, we want to hear him talk. I don't want to see him wrestle. I'm going to be honest with you. I do not want to see him wrestle. But the man can talk his butt off.
Ouch.
And the sense of realism that they had in those promos was amazing.
Facts.
So further those storylines, put him in WrestleMania. Like Brandon said, you don't know which direction you're going to go now, because now you can have him possibly against Seth. You have him possibly against Drew. You have Roman. You have Rock. You don't know what he's going to do. but you have to have him physically there, just for the people.
You said something.
So it's great for business. You said what?
You said something off, Dwayne.
Something seems off, man.
And Hugh said, "You got who?"
What you mean? Oh my gosh!
Swerve for you. He threw his ones up as he left AEW.
He definitely did.
you always got to find a way to bring the bloodline to this. Like, what are you doing?
It was right there. You said it. I had to just remind you. You said something's off. He said, "You got Rock, you got Roman. Throw the ones up."
Well, look,
did I manipulate this photo?
No, you didn't.
Did I manipulate this photo? I don't. Listen, I think something's up. I don't think it's that, but I don't know, man.
It punch your boss in the face.
Yeah, like it just you man. We wonder if we're gonna get a dark side of the ring about what happened when all the NDA agreements is up.
10 years.
Vice is waiting for like that statute of limitations to kind of end. But
we can find a way around it, yo.
Listen, they can afford it.
It's a dramatic reenactment with different names.
Oh, you know it.
Man, somebody gonna write that book.
Jack Frost and
there you go.
Chick Magnet.
What is this doesn't seem suspicious to you, brothers? That all of a sudden, out the blue, like, don't get me wrong, it makes sense why they want to get CM Punk involved for WrestleMania. We'll call him CM Punk involved for WrestleMania, but it's like now there's conflict, right? It's because you look at it now, we're all heading into anti-hero territory. So now, like, Seth Rollins is kind of a in facto good guy, right? Wasn't meant to be a good guy, but he turned into a good guy. Kind of, like I said, more of an anti-hero. But now all of a sudden he's still beef with CM Punk's a face. And people love Seth Rollins for who he is too, but they hate each other. It's obvious. And I'm like, wait a minute, if they wrestle, who's the good guy and who's the bad guy? And I don't think anybody cares because of the historic disdain that these two have openly had for each other.
Right.
And then you got Big Drew saying, I don't care what y'all doing. This one had nothing to do with neither one of you. This is about me. And I'm like, wait a minute. To me, I think CM Punk might be a little bit more healthier than he's letting on. Now, I could be speculating. I don't know. But to me, you guys didn't think it was suspicious that they never really clarified in what way he really will be involved in WrestleMania. He made a bunch of suggestions, and then there was a handful of interruptions that went over as far as TV time was concerned. And that was the last we heard of it. I'm like, so they're not going to tell us in what way CM Punk's going to be involved. It's just know he's going to have a part somewhere. He may be on commentary, maybe he will, but what is that? We know he's not just going to be on commentary just for the sake of commentary. It's because what makes him the next in line for that championship that he's so involved in. To me, once again, there's implications. I don't trust Triple H. He is trying to dupe us. He sits there in the room with his buddies and try to say, what can we do that we've not done before to keep people interested in? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know if we said it on this show or what, but last week somebody said, sometimes it seems like the World Heavyweight Championship is playing second fiddle to the main storyline, but CM Punk's involvement all of a sudden, it seems like it's giving us an injection of life just less than 2 weeks away from WrestleMania, which I think was done on purpose. Am I tripping? Am I over speculating or what? Because my mind is all over the place.
So I got a comment about that, because if you notice what the Triple H does, it's like if you are a heel, you teeter on the just edge, not necessarily a heel. Like Shinsuke Nakamura went full on heel because that's what the story dictated. Drew didn't become a heel; he became a look. I'm just saying the stuff that been bottled up for 2 years, and I'm giving you this edge to me. So his booking gives you this extra edge that it can go either way. Because, like, for the life of me, I still can't understand how a Bobby Lashley is presented like this bad, but it's like he gets cheered. No matter what he does, he gets cheered.
Because he's hanging with those guys.
But even before that, think about it. Before that, if you think about it, even before that, he was still like, teetering on okay, who's he wrestling? Am I going to cheer for him or am I going to cheer for the other guy? But it was like everybody has a little edge to them.
Sure.
Unless you are completely Cody Rhodes or you the other side of the spectrum where you are
Roman.
Because even now, like, if you look at Roman, he's really not getting booed. He really didn't get booed. He only got booed for certain action.
Well, shoot, neither is The Rock. He gets cheered like
beyond belief, no matter what he does. It's kind of like when Becky Lynch. they tried to make her a heel, but as soon as you gave her the edge, the man gimmick came.
Yep.
You know, and we were only mad because she took down Bianca. But then guess what? When her and Bianca made up, we like Becky again. You know, like
it ain't that long. When Becky did the right thing.
Like, look at Rhea. When she first joined the Judgment Day, it was like, but why? Like, what are you doing? And then it was like, oh, you're running the Judgment Day. We're okay now. We like mommy. You know, and it was like she has an edge to her.
True.
So I think that's what he's doing. He's keeping that interesting, whereas though it's not really because it can teeter either way. I think he's gonna. A lot of times he lets the crowd decide which way they're gonna go.
It's not a bad point. Great. Brian, as you were about to say something, what's your 2 cents, sir?
No, I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I think CM Punk obviously showing up at WrestleMania 40 is good for business. First of all, it's in Philly, like out of all places. That's a CM Punk audience. It's right there in Chicago. You know that he kind of embodies that Philly grit. You know he's from Chicago, and that's kind of his space. It's the what was it?
Chicago was in Philly. Did he just say Chicago was in Philly?
No,
I'm saying like he like
that grit.
You're like, Chicago and Philly have that
wrestling town.
And it might be because they just have this natural reputation for that. But I don't know. Like I said, CM Punk, good for business. Showing up at WrestleMania 40. Now what he does makes it even better for business. But yeah, we shall see.
He's gonna be so happy to be back at WrestleMania. It's been 11 years.
You kidding me? He wasn't passed with this opportunity, and he's gonna do something because he's like, I gotta be on the show. But like you said, they invested a lot of money in him. Hey man, this is what people pay to see. I'm sure he's doing autograph signings, and if you see how he was physically in the ring, like, look man, I got this bracelet, I'm good to go. He probably didn't have to do anything physical in the ring, like you said, brother Hugh. But let's be real, 70% of what we pay to CM Punk do is be CM Punk, not put on wrestling matches. Right. But that's what brings you longevity to your career. So with that being said, brothers, are you guys ready for WrestleMania? Guys, I'm somber right now because I'm trying to hold in my excitement. I'm trying to keep it together. We spent it's like Christmas. You know how you count down from Christmas, you're like, okay, here we go. We got 3 weeks left. We got 2 weeks left. And you're like, oh my goodness, it's finally freaking here. Are you guys ready for WrestleMania? We have been watching wrestling for the last couple of weeks as they have prepared this walk to WrestleMania since the Royal Rumble. We're seeing so much go in. We're seeing so much go out. We're seeing hints. We're seeing things going on between The Rock and Cody Rhodes. We're seeing all these things, and we need to discuss these things. But the big question is, are we ready for this? This is something I feel like we haven't seen before. When they said this time, this is going to be the biggest WrestleMania ever. This time, I really believe them. That's not a selling tag. Before they said every year, I'm like, okay, cool. And you enjoy the moment.
Right.
You know what I mean? You enjoy it. You're like, okay, I appreciate the adjectives. But this year, I'm telling you, I think
stupendous.
I think something massive is going to go down at this year's WrestleMania. Are you brothers ready for this? Are you ready for what's about to happen, Brian H?
I don't think so.
You guys don't think Brian H is ready? Because he's you said
leave me alone, Dylan.
Are you holding on? Yeah, what's Dylan?
You saw it?
I seen that comment. Leave me alone, Dylan.
Go and flash it up there.
Whoa!
I mean, I just figured I hit the button by mistake. I didn't mean to do that.
No,
but since
you were trying to read the comment too?
Yeah, I hit the button, but I mean it's up there. So
I'm excited for this one.
I can't stand Dylan. Did y'all see this? Y'all see his comment?
Oh my gosh!
I'm just letting people read it. Oh, Dylan.
Right.
Yeah. Sounds nice.
Man, I look back. Right?
Yes.
And I did my rankings of like my favorite WrestleManias, and last year's my favorite for so many reasons.
You say this every year, right? Like you always say, like whatever year you're like, well, last year was my favorite. Ever since WrestleMania 30, you've been doing this.
I don't even want to talk about WrestleMania 30 no more.
My bad. I'm sorry. I should have brought it up. Continue. I apologize.
I should have just went, but
yeah, that's cool. No, I told you we don't need to go back. It's good.
No, because 31 I ain't feel that way. There's a lot of I didn't feel that way. I thought at 34 it was like the moment we was at Jimmy's and I said it, the show went downhill.
You definitely jinxed it. It was like, ooh, this straight fell off a little bit.
And Justin was there, and he even said, because like that was his like first WrestleMania, and he's like, yo, it was like everything was just going, and then after like Kurt Angle, Ronda Rousey, ironically, that's the last time I talked to the former co-host the day after. But
what former co-host? What are you saying?
Hey, my
God, the very first one. This one, because like last year was like, you know, 2 main events, Bloodline, but the women and everything, and it was Hollywood, the stage. I don't think they'll outdo the stage this year, no matter what.
What do you mean?
Yes, they will. What do you mean? They're going to Cody elevator. Downstate going to be coming from this a helicopter playing his music.
You said you don't think they will outdo the stage?
Liberty's going to get shot in from a cannon, and Brandy's going to be doing pyros on the side.
And stage itself, the setup,
they going to do it.
So what? Hold on, let me just refresh my memory real quick. What was last year's stage? We were in
Hollywood. They had
the real big ramp. Or the big.
I remember. Yeah, it was the film, the Hollywood film.
Like
got it.
I don't like to see spoilers, so don't dare nobody tweet me or send me photos.
Yeah, because they, people are already taking photos of the construction going on.
I hate that. Like, no, I want to walk in and I got that. Shout out to brother Corey when when me, him, and Hugh walked in WrestleMania 28 and just like, wow. Like before last year, I thought Orlando had the best stage with the roller coaster. But
that was fun. Yep.
Yeah. I don't think I don't see them outdoing that one. But
can I ask you a question real quick? Do you think they're going to simplify it to add more seats to the arena? Because I've noticed they've been doing that lately. Like they've been like, let's go with big digital boards and like digital and do digital looks so we can open up more seating, or what you think it's just not going to catch it?
I could see that, especially because like SummerSlam, there was a whole section, SummerSlam Nashville section where it wasn't nobody there. Even in Detroit, but the business. I mean, think about Detroit was in August to now. The business has skyrocketed just from last summer. So I could see them doing that. But I do think this is going to be big because no matter what, win, lose, or draw, the fact that you're getting all these mega stars, it's kind of like at 30, right? I always say that was like the last time you had every single living legend there when you think about it, right? You had Hogan, Warrior, Bruno, Brett, Austin, Rock, Jake. I think Scott Hall might have been there. Maybe it wasn't. Kevin Nash. Every living legend was at WrestleMania 30.
Right.
That's what made that special. This year, you got like all your big stars, with Rock, Roman, Cody, Rollins. You got like new generation, old generation. You got so many generations coming together. But it's also the way they've been cooking is to set you up, because what happens Monday? That's always the thing with wrestling.
There you go.
But what happens Monday? And they got a lot of making up to do from last year's Raw after Mania, but also just moving forward. So I'm excited. I hope and pray Hogan is there. Bama's in Tampa. Hey, you want Stone Cold? Give me Hogan. Bama's in Tampa.
Just for you, yes. Okay, yes.
See, yeah,
that's mighty gracious of you, brother Hugh.
That's what I said about Austin.
That's their brotherhood. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I hope Stone Cold make a surprise appearance. Hit a glass break. Because
who called it? Who booked that last week? Who booked it? Because somebody said it
2 weeks ago.
That exactly. Didn't I say it?
Yeah.
Did I say it? I said who's the one guy who can tame the Rock out of all people ever?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And then
he was on the billboard in a straight on a fight.
And then last week we get a video clip of Johnson. Like, come on, man. Like,
and did you see when the fight? And it was clearly how ironic that the one thing that you could see had John Cena on one side and Stone Cold on the other.
First of all, they bluffing. They don't even make the trucks like that. They'll never just put two faces on the truck,
Right.
especially if that's not current superstar. They always advertise they guys that they have right then and there. So are you not about to like come on now?
And that was clearly the shot. I was like, they're gonna go fight over to it so you can say, you're all alone. Nobody's here. It's you versus the bloodline. You're not gonna win. And then I was like, oh, he didn't take him over there. Oh, he didn't.
John Cena on the left. Hogan on the right.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Count the days.
Now I'm glad you did, brother Hugh. Brian H is counting the days.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for WrestleMania? He said, "Count the days." First of all, you talk about championship culture, the big goal versus every other belt. You can't do Austin and John Cena versus the Bloodline. Like they're going down, and
Right.
they're going down.
No, Austin is.
Oh my God.
Before you go, Austin to the Bloodline is Hogan to the Click. He just don't lose. He always find his way on top. Hogan
Stone
beat
Cold.
Click. Austin beat.
Stone.
God dang it.
Austin, you say it. Say it. Austin is the Rock's
That's right.
kryptonite.
Yeah,
And you know it.
He beat up Haku.
Come on now.
He beat up. He gonna beat Bro.
It's over.
Yeah.
The
As long as you
story
know.
You think he took?
yeah.
Nah, man.
Stone Cold is the only person that the Rock is going to be scared of. When that glass shatter, he's going to be like,
He's gonna be like, no, wait a minute. Wait
He
a
his
goddamn
boss.
minute.
He his boss.
No, he's not. How he's the boss? He's not an employee. He's a Hall of Famer. He do what he
got
wants.
Legends contract.
and remember they had that pack with the stunner. If you do the stunner, if you sell it, I'll buy you a case of beer.
Oh, what is the first of all? The Rock's too old to be flipping all over the place like that. But
Oh, he
he's
will.
so jacked. He's so jacked
Right.
up. But you know, if he hits the wrong angle, he's gonna tear something.
He's going to be
BDE,
singing,
man.
you're welcome.
BDE.
Brother Hugh, are you ready for WrestleMania, sir? Brian H is going through it. I think he's accepting it that his time has come to an end. But are you ready for WrestleMania, sir?
Ride till the wheels fall off.
Yeah, you keep on riding, brother, because them wheels are getting wiggly.
For personal reasons, yes.
Okay,
But
personal
as
reasons.
as a fan, honestly, no, because it's just too much going on and it's
Bro,
too
it's
much
a lot, isn't
excitement.
it?
I don't even know where to start. Like what
It is a lot, bro.
it is. But overall, I'm just eager to get there and see what's going down. Like I can't even book it anymore.
Bro,
It used to be a time where we can book everything that happened. But
bro, remember we did that 2 weeks ago, and I was like, bro, I'm tired. This ain't it.
right.
We gotta talk about it next week because you know we have it's our WrestleMania preview show, and we'll do the best we can because I know you guys got to move and you guys got to do things, and there's a lot to do WrestleMania week. But brother guy, the Bell King, are you ready for WrestleMania, sir? Like you see his face, his eyes. Oh my goodness, his eyes got rather large. Are you ready for WrestleMania, sir? Like this is
Absolutely not.
wow. No, why are you not ready for WrestleMania?
Because we're excited about all of the Rock stuff, and I feel like we're forgetting about the other stuff. Like it's still a lot of stuff on this card that we are all vested in.
Yes,
And I feel like
There's
it's
a
being,
ton.
I don't want to say overshadowed because that takes away what that's going to seem the wrong meaning because we forgot about the whole Intercontinental title match,
I
the
was thinking
tag
the same
team
thing.
match. Bailey.
The women's title. This is an Attitude Era freaking card. This is loaded from
And
top
And it's
to
2
bottom.
nights. And I think Triple H is going to show you if we would have had 2 nights back then, look at the magic because he allows every match to breathe in its own way. Because everybody don't need an 8-minute match. Everybody don't need a 12-minute match. Some people don't need a 24-minute match. It's going to I think Gunther and Sammy is going to be the surprising factor, but I think whoever goes on night 1 is going to dictate what happens on night 2 for the mid-card titles. If Kevin Owens go on night 1 and get the U.S. title, he's going to come down and congratulate Sammy with the Intercontinental. Yep, so
I
they
think
can have
like,
that.
we're all like picturing that moment in our minds. Like this has to happen in Philly. Once again, you talk about
In
two
Philly.
indie darlings. Two
Yeah,
indie darlings
exactly.
having their moment together.
They're gonna have that
But the
Eddie
crazy part-
Benoit moment.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's what because they're best. What better way for Triple H to pay them off for everything that he's done for them
There you go.
besides giving them? He gave them a moment last year, and they're still there. They're still working,
Yep.
and I feel like I don't want to say we're forgetting that, but
They
we're
main
so
evented
worried.
WrestleMania last year. That's a big deal.
Yes, and for them to be able to do that, and they could do what Cena and Daniel Bryan was going to do for those same titles. on both shows. They can still be the main event of those shows when the champions aren't there because you have them. They could main event a pay-per-view. They could do all that stuff that you expect them to do in these, I don't want to call them B-level pay-per-views anymore. Anything that's not the big four. And then like I'm excited for the Bayley rise to power, but I'm not excited because I'm scared Bayley's going to get the title and then Charlotte's going to come back. And
you know that's happening, right?
But she got to go to Raw with her husband. Let's go to Raw.
I mean, I think that's kind of, and once again, I think it's implicated because why would else would Andrade
be on
Raw?
He could be Sammy's first opponent. Yeah, I mean, it's so many possibilities.
That'd be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I have him as Gunther.
Oh boy,
I have him up against Gunther next
for the title. For the title,
in the feud for the title.
Also, Sammy doesn't get it.
Yeah, I still got Gunther retaining.
Oh,
I mean,
see, look, that's what I'm talking about with the dust. Is we don't know what we want.
It's possible because think about it because and to that point, it's the truth though. Is because sometimes what we're used to getting is WrestleMania is usually a culmination for every match for every story. But like you said, Brother Brandon, we Triple H is now like we don't know what the purpose of the WrestleMania match is because this may just be the beginning of another chapter for Sammy. Like, oh no, this is here just to. Now I need to get people to have that much more sympathy for Sami Zayn by having him get this moment and lose it, like on some Mick Foley type stuff. So you're right. We don't know the purpose of the match. It doesn't mean this is if his moment might just be beginning at WrestleMania.
And I'm waiting to see.
I can't live
because
like this. This is too
Brother
much.
Hugh said it. I think for them tag belts, how we split them up. One person grab the red one, one grab the blue one, and those teams win the match. So a Raw team takes the Raw belt and go to Raw. Because the SmackDown team grabbed the other one and they went to SmackDown.
That's a creative way of doing it.
And what better way in Triple H's dust to do a attitude or a finish where, oh, how did you grab that? And this is about, or type of deal. And it's like, hey, how are we going to resolve this? I'm happy to undisputed. Well, guess what? You got that belt. You got that belt. Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis come into that conclusion because they work together well on screen to come up with resolutions, but. I'm not ready for Mania because it's too much that we can't see what's the next step. And I think that's what's hurting us because we've been so like we know now to expect the unexpected, but some of the things we wanted, like I wanted a coin drop at Mania. I'm not gonna get it because of it's dead now. I wanted certain things to happen, but we know that's been quiet and we won't get that. But now we're like, ooh, am I going to hear the glass shatter? Am I going to hear a gong? What are you going to hear now? And that's why I say I'm not ready for it because I don't know if this WrestleMania is going to hurt WrestleMania 41.
Yeah, probably. It depends. Because if WrestleMania 41 is in Vegas,
right,
they're gonna play the slots, buddy.
It's gonna be Minnesota, baby.
No, that's just.
But dumb. SummerSlam, you see what SummerSlam going?
They put together a great package.
Minnesota though,
we don't want Minnesota. We want Vegas.
Yeah, we don't. But if they give you a great package deal and a bidding,
help me understand. Now, come on, educate the folks. This is the wrestling realm. Educate us. What do you mean? What do you refer to when you say a great package deal? What are we talking about?
So everybody. This is the thing you gotta remember too. Can the city's infrastructure hold it? Like as much as I love this great city of Baltimore, and much as I would love on it, because it's we can't. We can have a SummerSlam here, but with WrestleMania,
I don't even think we could do a SummerSlam.
Possible.
I think we're more like Survivor Series vibes. You're not feeling Survivor Series vibes.
Maybe Rumble.
We can handle SummerSlam, and even Nashville. Trust me, like. Oh, you just like those pay-per-views, you just need a convention center, right? There. You can put the SummerSlam access, but WrestleMania, you figure media access, you're thinking people coming from all over the country, right? SummerSlam has the benefit of being in August where you have people coming from different places of the country, but you don't have worldwide people coming in. No pun intended. We got enough hotels to handle that. We don't have enough. Minnesota got the hotels, they got the attraction with the Mall of America. And
I guess you're right.
Places like NABJ like going there and stuff, and different conventions. All right. So Minnesota can handle it. Vegas is you know, if Minnesota beats Vegas, I believe because Vegas was like, well, why wouldn't you want to come here? You know, and Minnesota probably offer a better package deal. But you know, I just think like we at that point now where everything is just like get bigger and better, you know, because sometimes if you look at WrestleMania and the history of it, you can tell all you got to do is know the city and the venue. You can tell where the business was. I brought up, all right, I know y'all want to say 9, but what's the worst WrestleMania that everybody said?
2.
9.
I was about to say
WrestleMania 2. You're right. Yeah, everybody hated that when they had 3 separate locations.
But
it was on Monday night.
I personally say 2 as well, because the only reason why I say 2 is because I feel like they overextended themselves. But
he got too what do you call it? Too ambitious.
Yeah, like really
trying to be different.
But majority of people will say 11, right? Here's the thing about 11. Not only was it bad, look where it was.
Where was 11?
Hartford, Connecticut, in the Civic Center in Hartford.
Who was in WrestleMania 11? That's how bad it was. I barely remember.
Bam Bam Bigelow versus.
I thought that's what that was. The Shawn Michaels and Diesel.
95, right? You're talking bad time in the business. Think about the 95 Royal Rumble. The celebrities, which in 95 was a big deal. You talking Pamela Anderson and Lawrence Taylor, who was fresh out of football,
and Jenny McCarthy, her counterpart, the other blonde hottie.
Exactly, right. Then you had Nicholas Toro during the NYPD Blue Days, and you had Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh yeah,
at a time of Home Improvement and Lion King, right?
Oh,
but again, mid 90s, right?
Yeah.
But when you look at all of that, like, and you still was at the Hartford Civic Center, right? You're deep, and this is the reason why Kevin Nash gets a lot of flack, because it's like, dude, you didn't draw, and then you look at it like,
draw, brother.
He had the worst WrestleMania when he was champion, you know. So all of those factors, and then you know, but now mind you, we're coming off of 3 years ago. They was in the stadium in Indianapolis in the Hoosier Dome for WrestleMania 8, right? True. Where your main event could have been, which we talked about last week in depth, Hogan's Flair, but it was Hogan, Sid Vicious, Macho Man, and Ric Flair, semi-main event, you know. But you could still feel that. You wasn't going to feel that in 95. You know, we also post-steroid era, you know, post Brett run, because they wanted to try something different. You know, so you could look at the business and you could tell the business of professional wrestling. And after you come out of 22, right, and into 23 and 1, it's all stadiums. And even when like some of the forgettable years where we talking, you know, for us as Attitude Era and Golden Era, you know, but some of them ruthless aggression babies who, like, by this time they're teenagers or they're still watching, you know, business was still doing well to put WrestleMania 25, 26 in a stadium, you know. True. Even because John Cena was a draw, regardless of whether he was at the front of the card or helping somebody get over. Same as what's the other dude? Edge, you know, these guys, you know, and Randy Orton. So I just think that, you know, looking back at it, I don't think it'll go backwards. So I don't think 41 necessarily be hurt. I think it's just going to continue to skyrocket, because as The Rock declared, pro wrestling is cool again.
Yeah, listen to me. If you look at the freaking WrestleMania card, that's what it looks like. Like
I mean, y'all wearing wrestling shirts out yet? Y'all wearing do y'all wear like WWE wrestling shirts out?
Like what do you mean, like wear them out? Like you wear them so much you can't?
No, just wear them. Like, sorry, do you like wear them in public? Because like we at that point, it's conversation starters again, right? But with everybody,
because it's vintage now.
Yeah,
you know? Like we see like you'll see Attitude Era like t-shirts now, like in pop culture. Like you'll see Austin 316, and not like just like the Hall of Fame t-shirts. We talking just random shirts that you see like at a boardwalk in Ocean City. You know what I mean?
And now even going to the gym, you know, it's such a habit. Like I'm walking in the other day, about to walk out, and somebody's like, "Yo, so what you think will happen?" I'm like, "Huh? Like, I mean, my hip hurt. My first thought was like, how you know I like wrestling? And then I was like, oh shit, I forgot to
there it
do
is.
a hoodie on, or you know. But everybody now, they coming out of, you know, they not being ashamed no more. You know, when we started this, you know, 12 years ago, people wouldn't even admit that they
wrestling
like
fans.
Yeah. That's why I be a proud wrestler fan. Get a T-shirt. Shout out to Stephen Michael. Said he rocking his during WrestleMania week.
Shout out, there it is. Look at that. There you go, Stephen Michael. Look at that. Proud. There you can catch that Proud Wrestling Fan T-shirt live now at WrestlingRealm.com. There it is. But no, what you said makes perfect sense. And man, it's just I'm so excited just for, like, I don't know, man. Call me old. It just seems like this is a fresh start as wrestling fans, and I think this WrestleMania will kind of add to the history of, like, what we're seeing the evolution of the WWE for once, right? Now that Triple H is completely in control, we got new TV, and the way they're doing their show, like what was a special attraction with like Bray Wyatt, is now starting to be like a daily occurrence in how we produce our television and how we display what we do. But let's talk about a few things because we're about to wrap up. It's time to get out of here.
Check it out real quick. We got a question real quick.
Okay, go ahead, hit it up.
Yeah, they on fire in the comments. I can't keep up.
Yeah.
With the way the Raw ended on Monday, do you think WWE is moving out of the PG era and getting ready to start providing a more edgier product with the move to Netflix next year? I was thinking that exact thing. It's because the first thing that came to my mind was like, well, you don't have to answer to sponsors anymore because, like, Netflix has no commercials. They're like, nope, we'll pay you a flat fee to have the whole brand on our thing. We've never watched wrestling without commercials. Think about it. We've never watched wrestling without commercials. Unless you do Brian H does, and he records it and he fast forwards it. You know what I mean? Like, that was how we did it before. Don't watch it live. Just watch it, record it, and go back and say fast forward. Right.
Shout out to my grandmother who recorded wrestling, or had my aunt record wrestling for me. You know how older people say, yeah, I'm gonna record this for you, but the whole time you doing it, but they said they did it, they get on the phone, yeah, I'm gonna make me some chicken and greens. But the whole time they ask you to stir up the pot and bring out the sauce and do everything.
And then you look at it like, wait a minute, I'm in here cooking. Yep. We've all been there. Got the dupe.
Raj just worried about curse words. Because you heard what The Rock really said, right?
I did. The Rock didn't care. He did. Yeah, he just says anything out of his mouth. You like, bro.
Standards and practices.
So yeah.
You talking about when he whispered in Cody's ear?
No.
What did he whisper in his ear?
I don't know. What did he whisper in his ear?
I heard that you broke it down and you got an exclusive.
Yeah. There it is right there.
I knew it.
That's what
I knew it.
And you know what he was telling him? That black and gold one is not his.
Uh-oh.
He said, and Roman's belt is not your story.
Wow. How did he whisper at you?
He said, hey, Cody, everybody has a story.
Boy.
Oh, my goodness.
It does look like he said that. It look like he said
yeah, he said every belt, and then he hit him with the belt. That's the belt has a story.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the belt. This is what the final boss is referring to. Like, this is what The Rock is talking about. Cody Rhodes talks about finishing the story, and The Rock is kind of like spearheading. Like, The Rock has made more TV appearances than Roman Bradley. What's going on?
Drew Willingham in the building. That's what's going on.
Sir.
What's cracking, brother?
Maybe he'll see my comment from earlier. I want him and Dwayne to have a promo battle.
Oh Lord.
I got to bring my A game. No. Drew brings it without even trying me. I'm like, I got to get myself together.
But you just got to get in the realness mood.
I know. I
got to get in WCW mood. That WCW.
Now,
Brandon, you're not going to tell me. Now, with this procedure, like, you just went off. If anybody get a chance, please go watch that WCW edition of Championship Cultures for the realness's breakdown of the WCW Cruiserweight Championship.
Chill, bro.
Uh-oh. Anyway,
chill. Brandy not wrestling with married people, yo.
No, that's what I'm not even. I was like, nope, I'm not going there. But The Rock is talking about Cody Rhodes talking about handing the belt to his mom, having this moment, and The Rock's like, no, I'm going to hand the belt to your mother. It's going to be this belt with your blood on it. I mean, what is going on right now? Like, this is The Rock is going what The Rock does. He really is, though. Like,
I bet you that was Cody's mother's idea.
It might have been. No, I wouldn't be
Probably.
surprised. He is going out of his way to like make it clear to him. I'm going like this is to me. It seems like it's some type of tribal routine that he's talking about. He's like, so like, no, I'm going to bust you over the head. First of all, this was the first belt he brought up last week. He went and got a new belt. He's like, no, as a matter of fact, let me make it white. The blood look even more. He busts Cody open. He beats him up. He jumps him. I loved every last bit of it because I got excited watching the Rock lead the bloodline. I was like, "Ooh, that's look like Roman that showed up." Think about it. Roman didn't show up, and then you send the Rock. The Rock said, "Don't worry, I got it, buddy. Come on, Solo, Jimmy, let's do this."
No, the Rock probably said, "I want to be on TV." I'm here.
No, the Rock is once they gave the Rock his trademark back, he's like, "Oh, I'm all in." Like, cool. I'm like, this is the most. Think about it. Like, if this was Vince McMahon era, we would have got a match, a couple of promos, and that's it. He is all in, and he's like, "No, I got this idea." And Triple H is like, "Great, let's do it. Let's do all the stuff that Vince wouldn't let us do before."
I need you to do, Rocky. I need you to go out there and make a bleed, okay?
He has. You can tell the Rock has. You can tell the Rock has complete creative control over all he does. I'm like, those are the Rock's ideas. Like, he's just doing whatever he wants to do. Like, we got Cody Rhodes. First of all, brother, he's a jerk with these graphics. He's like, he's got Cody Rhodes getting beat up by the Rock, and he's put hard times. Like, come on, dude. Like, you gotta
post that. I want to see that. I want to see this go viral. I want to see this in Reddit. I want to see this everywhere.
You guys are jerks. He really got this graphic with Cody Rhodes getting choked up. First of
he
all,
was yelling.
I
told you every belt had a story,
bro. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. First of all, they set him up. They set Cody Rhodes up, and the Rock just outsmarted this guy. And I was like, Cody, you go for it. And he just like humiliated. He ripped him up. He beat him up. He made him bleed. Just
everybody.
Golly, man.
Shout out to the weather. Shout out to the weather. Shout out to the rain.
No, it was raining.
Making it that much more.
Raining?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Make it that
the
much
rain
more.
made it look more like a final boss battle. Like I was waiting for the hero to get up and be like, "I'm not done with you yet." I could do this all day. If he would have said it, I would have cut off. I would have cut it off.
Call me crazy. I felt like the Rock wasn't getting wet. I said, "Bro, is he not getting wet? I don't see no water dripping from his face."
He was fighting the water off. He Chuck Norris the water.
His shirt was soaked. I was like, "Yo, Cody, like he going through it right now." Then he started bleeding. I'm like, the Rock doesn't look wet though. Like he's not wiping his face off or anything. He ain't took his shades off. Nothing.
That's because he's Samoan.
Am I the only person that thought the Rock was going to throw him off?
Bro, I thought he was going to rip. I said, "Oh no!"
But I was like, at first I couldn't tell if it was a bridge or it was just like a section off. I couldn't tell. So
it looked like it's like a little section off, like where they have like say if you had the monster trucks come in, you bring them in the garage section.
Exactly. Yeah. Sorry, if you're listening, we're looking at the photos. We just look at that brother who put these graphics. Because brother, he's a jerk. He's a talented graphic designer, but man, he's making
a talented jerk. That's what I thought you were to say.
This guy is he's tearing Cody Rhodes up, but all these images of the Rock, like personally has this camera. No, look at me. He's flipping the camera up. He's flipping it like, no, look at Cody. Like, who's directing this scene? Is it you or the technical director? He's doing whatever he wants to do. Cody Rhodes, first of all, he got set up. He got beat bad. He makes it bleed, and he kind of furthers his efforts to say, "Listen, I'm going to make you bleed, and I'm going to smear it on this belt, and this is going to be the only belt that I'm going to be handing to your mother." Now, while all that was going on, like I said earlier, we saw the trucks. He's like, "You ain't got nobody." Rock on one side, Austin on one side. John Cena. That's a really old looking picture of John Cena, and John Cena on the other side. And I was like, what more of a cherry on top would you need if, first of all, you're watching this conclusion? Because this has got to be night 2. You're watching the conclusion. WrestleMania has already been insane. Everybody's tired, exhausted, overwhelmed. They're crying. Our friends from the wrestling club are emotional because of what's about to go down. And then all of a sudden, I booked it 2 weeks ago, like Brian said. The Rock comes out. Austin comes out. John Cena comes out to be part of the Cody Rhodes crusade. And they're like, man, they all have the same. They all have the same motive. This is for Dusty. The Bloodline's been taking out everybody for all these years. You say what?
I said the Avengers.
Avengers, a symbol.
That's what it is. The Cody Crusade, the Avengers. That's exactly what it's going to be. Everybody who has been beat down by the Bloodline, Brian H, is going to come back, and they're going to reap that, and they're going to because I'm telling you, I got a crazy feeling the Rock's going to bring out some relatives. Like, yeah, you thought it was just a few of us. Nah, it's going to be all of us, and I don't know how many he's going to bring out or like what it's going to look like. You know what I mean? But I got a feeling that people are going to jump in, like you said, the Kevin Owens and the Sami Zayns and the Jay Uso's the one I'm not sure about all the way. I'm conflicted about him.
That's
because it's like
I think it's going to be Jimmy and Jay.
What's this? Is he going to fight off his own family? I think Jimmy and Jay will get into it, which will prevent them from feeling like, you know what I'm saying? Like say Jay comes out there to help to go after Jimmy because of, you know, maybe Jimmy beat him or Jay lost or whatever, and then The Rock summons the rest of the family, or Roman summons the rest of the family, and now it's like, all right, now everybody who's been done by Roman, they're like, we talked about it coming to a conclusion where like, okay, cool, now it's really just between Cody Rhodes trying to, once again, the odds stacked against him, he's trying to figure it out, and then, like I said, John Cena's got to come out first because he's got to take out whoever's hot in the moment. He
got to get Solo.
He got to take Solo out. There you go.
Yeah, he tore his throat up.
Yeah, because you know he was one that quote unquote sent John Cena back into retirement. He's got to take out Solo, which is going to be huge for Solo, is because now he's, you know what I mean? It's like it's first of all, that match that he had with Solo, I was like, oh, he must like you a lot, Solo. He must think you're the future of this business because John Cena says I handpick you. Once again, they're all doing right. They're all doing right by, you know, just the bloodline and the story, stuff like that. And then it's going to be The Rock and Roman once again versus Cody. And they're like, look, we didn't fought everybody else. Everybody's out the picture. They fighting they fighting in the aisles. They fighting back up the ramp. It's just melee. But yet it still comes down to, okay, fine, it's me and you, cuz versus Cody. And then Stone Cold Steve Austin's music hits, and Brian H is going to be like, crap, now I gotta make a decision. Do I stay out here? Or do I get ready to go do interviews? And because you got to make a decision. Like, what are you going to cover? Like, what are you going to cover? Because everybody, all the famous people will be in the back. Like, hey, okay, what do we do? Austin comes back. Austin been quiet all year. He hasn't been saying nothing. I'm like, dude, I know he's training to make himself look good again to make sure he's straight. Comes out there, The Rock. Think about this, you ready, guys? This is going to be like Triple H's like Attitude Era Revenge. The Rock and Austin have one last exchange, right? Everybody knows Austin. Like, it adds another chapter. They don't got to wrestle. They just got to throw down. You know what I'm saying? The Rock don't even got to wrestle, nothing like that. They just got to throw down. The Rock and Austin have one last chapter. Austin chases off The Rock, and then we finally get it down to 1-on-1. Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, you know the rest. Finish the story. Downstates, you know, celebrates with the drumsticks and the guitars. The baby cries, Brandy cries. Cody, you know he's gonna cry a river. And he finally walks over there. He hands over the belt. He's probably gonna be bloody out of respect to his dad and Ric Flair. And he hands the championship over to his mom, and the Cody Rhodes era begins. Are you guys ready for this? Brian, I want to see the look on your face.
Who wants to see him lose so bad? Cody.
If he loses, there's no coming back from this.
Exactly.
The only reason I want to see how he's going to be booked. That's the only thing. That's the only reason I want him to lose. It makes sense for him to win. Let's be real. But I want him to lose because I want to see how he's going to be booked.
I agree with you because I want him to win last year. I wanted him to win last year. I said, this is it. And I'm looking at everything now like, oh yeah, this is before we got Jay and Roman, and I'm like, oh yeah, never mind. There's more stories to tell here. And I'm glad he lost. First of all, I wasn't glad when it happened, as Brother Brandon like.
I saw that video. I watched it.
I took that.
I'm mad the video's not there anymore.
I've never seen so many people root for this politician so bad. He ain't nothing but a politician. And
come on, man.
He's walking around, you know, for goodness sake, go running for office. Roman told y'all, Roman's the good guy. Everybody else rooting for this guy. Like, Roman's the good guy. He's out here making promises. He's crying. He's kissing babies. I see right through it. You know, he's sitting up there going, is he helping the wrestling club with their homework? Is he going there?
Oh, come on.
Sure they're doing all their grades, getting their grades right. He out there. We good WrestleMania. He tweeted publicly. If he was a real G, he would have did it behind the scenes. No, he had to let it be known publicly. You know, and he got to mention them on Monday Night Raw. You know, all that stuff. Come on, Cody. We see right through it. You know, at least Seth Rollins dressed funny and tell you he dressed funny and whatnot. You know, y'all want somebody, an outsider who left the company, who walked out the company because they couldn't get over, and then they're gonna come back and dance, and he's supposed to be the one that dethroned the person that's been holding us down, and we've been eating all this good food with that's the person, that's your man's, that's your king. Look, I know I said it at the beginning of 2022, the person who beat Roman Reigns wasn't on the roster. Golly, I didn't think it was gonna be Cody Rhodes. All of a sudden, everybody rooting for Cody when he was on the indies because Stardust couldn't make it work. Roman withstood it. He lived through all the boos. He withstood it. That is a test of character. And they get ready to produce it. His A&E comes on this week. If we're going to see how everybody booed him and nobody thought he was it. And I was one of them through times. But then afterwards, I said, okay, you know what? I see the effects he's having. And I see in 2015, I was sold. Once we got through the first time, because, I wanted Daniel Bryan in that mix. I said, nah, I ain't ready for Roman. They kept saying, you got to have Roman. You got to have Roman. But around 2016, I was okay. Yeah, this is the guy. He took a step back, the Shield reunited, but he was there. He was faithful. So you mean to tell me, well, bring Cody back? Somebody who walked away. He didn't get kicked out. He didn't get released. He walked because he couldn't have his way. Oh, I can't be creative the way I wanted to be. So I'm going to go out here and learn the indies. Didn't even know how to charge people in the indies. And this is the guy y'all want to be y'all champion?
So basically what you're saying is,
throw them ones up.
But let me give you something with that.
Okay.
Was Cody not having creative control because he wasn't Samoan and he wasn't a Vince McMahon guy? Let's get that straight, because Roman was pushed down our throat in the replacement for Cena.
No,
Cody never had the same opportunity that he had because Seth was pushed down our throat too, but Seth took it and turned it and made sure that we still paid attention to him. Roman, and remember, I was the first one to admit I wanted the guy there, but I said for health reasons, take him off TV, put him in a bubble until it's ready, right? Cody comes back. If, like Dwayne said, if he doesn't win this year, it's pointless. Everything else is pointless because you have been so that we forgot that Seth is the only person that could take down Roman, but we didn't give him the consolation prize. Let's call it what it is, and say, hold on to this, keep wearing your flashy suits. Be the best number 2 guy, like Roman said, because the needle mover comes back and he's there. But remember, we had blue-eyed Roman, we had bad teeth Roman, we had red color on his vest, we had blue color, we had all these different colors, all these different things they was trying to get Roman over. He had to go away and come back with Paul Heyman for us to get this. So what's wrong with him going away for health reasons? Because Seth just changed in front of our eyes. Cody went away, and it's a different, just like Drew went away and came back. Drew is not the same person that he was. So Drew, Roman, Cody, all these people that had to reinvent themselves, Seth is the only one that did it in front of us.
But Roman wasn't allowed to be himself. And that's what he said on his WWE Evil. Once you took the cuffs off and let him be himself, it was fine. Cody,
he couldn't.
What was
he
that?
He could be himself. Stardust wasn't him. That was his brother's gimmick.
Before that, he was dashing, and he was.
That wasn't him.
Like that was Cody. That was.
Remember,
Cody
that was the gimmick. That was the gimmick he was given.
That pickup line to Brandy talking about your hair.
Her hair.
What kind of pickup line is that? That's not smooth. I want to be like him. I want to be like the Tribal Chief.
But you want to be okay. This who you want to be like.
No. See, that's not the Tribal Chief.
That's who you want to be like. That's him.
That's not the Tribal Chief. That's the big dog. We don't talk about
exactly. That's my point. Dashing is like the big dog, right? Stardust is a different persona. Seth Rollins, remember the Beast Slayer, the King Slayer, I don't want Garbage Sophie. You know what I mean? He didn't really slay the Fiend, but remember, he went through all these iterations in front of us to guess what? First off, they took the best part of his music out. And then they just said, let the crowd sing along. And now we got this evolution of Seth. I'm going to say it again. They all were there and left, and there's somebody different. Seth is the only one that was there. Even your boy CM Punk left and came back.
I'm still stuck on the fact that he said, what is Cody doing with the homework? I've been laughing for like 20 minutes in my head. He's like, what is he doing? Is he helping him?
He's a politician. He's a politician. You know what Cody is? You know what Cody Rhodes is?
from 2012, the Angry
He's
Rant.
not an Al Gore. He's a Donald Trump.
Oh, Cody?
my gosh.
Yeah, I said it. He's making all these promises. No, he's a Joe Biden. He's a Joe Biden. He's a Donald Trump. He's a Benedict Arnold.
He is a product of I know how to shake hands and kiss babies.
He said, "What is he doing? Is he helping you
do that homework?"
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Oh boy.
I think that I'm with you, Dwayne. I'm gonna say this: if he don't finish the story, it's pointless.
I would say this. I understand where y'all coming from, but if I take out a character, if I get out of character and I be real, I'm not gonna say that part. Y'all already know what it is. You don't have what's understood. Don't need to be said.
Go ahead and in front of everybody.
But
say it.
No, I don't know what you.
What's understood don't need to be said. But if he doesn't lose, I mean, if he doesn't win, if he doesn't win,
I need to take a break from wrestling. I can't do it.
There's a way because there's always a way to make a way, and I'm putting on my analyst hat on. I trust creative to get us back there. He's going to finish the story, whether it's in Philly, whether it's in Atlanta, whether it's in Hawaii. He's going to New
York, Madison Square Garden.
You don't bring Cody Rhodes back to go through all this, right? But at the same time, like I said before, in my opinion, the person who dethrones the tribal chief always should be somebody who he hadn't beat already. And that's why I would look at somebody personally. I would like if you told me it was going to be Gunther. Like if you put the streak up versus the streak over in Berlin, that would be massive. Because like when Roman wrestled Drew McIntyre, it felt that Drew could win it.
I thought that Drew was going to be the one to take it from him.
And you know, so that's the thing. But
let me say this real quick. Remember, because Drew had his moment with no fans. You get what I'm saying? Like we were all behind Drew because we wanted that moment. Just like Cody, we want this moment. That's why last year when Dwayne went live, and I saw his face,
those moments because
that's what I'm saying. If you would have seen this man's face, and here's my problem. And Brian, you said it before about the Rumble, right? The Rumble always picks up the person who's next, right? Almost, right? For 2 years, look what we've had. Was it a wasted Rumble then? If he doesn't win this, I think that we wasted the Rumble. That's like saying, "Oh, you're king of the ring, and we're going to give you a shot at the cruiserweight title. Congratulations."
Hey! Don't do that. Don't make this.
But see, there's always you know, I mean, like I said, looking at the target audience, wrestling's always catered to kids, and adults flock to it. You know, so there's always a story there. You know what I mean? Like,
but those are the same kids who's not helping with their homework.
Yes, yeah, he ain't helping them with their homework. Is Cody Rhodes showing up in Brooklyn on a random day? You know, while they watching matches? No, a politician. He's doing it in front of the fans. You know, shoot.
So you just not buying this.
Carmelo, Carmelo Hayes, when nobody was paying attention.
He getting a thumbs up. Okay.
Yeah, that's apparently this new emoji gimmick. Okay. You know,
they like what you spitting. Go ahead.
But
where's the fireworks?
Anything?
That's supposed to do something. But yeah, Carmelo Hayes, he went there and he sat with the wrestling club in the suite. Nobody knew. That's a real one, you know. Cody was, he got to be seen. You know, don't.
Brian is hilarious, boy.
Wow. Now you listen. You sold it, brother. I ain't buying it, but it's like I said. Shout out to you for bringing back an old segment from 2011, 2012, the Angry Rant. Because that's
I'm with you. Realness. If he don't win, what did you say earlier?
I can't do this. I got to take a break. I got to take a hiatus from the industry.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go in a coma. I'm gonna go in a wrestling coma.
And I'm nervous is because it took his father 3 years to finally take down Ric Flair and 4 Horsemen and to win the World Heavyweight Championship at Starrcade. I can't do it, man. I can't.
Exactly. I don't have another year of this.
Remember what happened to me?
I don't have another month of this, let alone another year.
He has to go another year.
Roman said him and Paul Heyman, the title reign will end when they want it to.
That's
I said that back during last year.
You know the crazy part is, I wish that wasn't true, but you know what? He might be right. I'm like, come on, Roman, don't you need a break? Like, you're not tired? I mean, he
gets a break.
He shows up 10 nights a year.
I don't want to do nothing else. I'm having fun. What else? Like,
you remember everybody complaining about Brock Lesnar's schedule? Roman Reigns eats the cake.
Roman Reigns is the one that complained about it. He can't bring us to work. Oh, look who started show up work today. Remember all those promos he cut on Raw?
But see, Roman, he's still there. He in the lab cooking. He not just sitting around and then we looking at the U.S. belt. As long as Paul Heyman walks with that phone,
leave the U.S. belt alone.
That was our title of record at the time when Brock had the, but Roman, as long as Paul Heyman got that phone.
Yeah, Pride, you're not going to keep saying that. That does not work. We've said that. I don't give nobody. You don't do a show on Wednesday and we say, call Brian H. See what the fans say. Don't do a show for a month. Brian H. Call Hollywood. Call Hollywood. Watch what happened. Watch what happened. Just try it. Let's see if it works. Let's see if our tribal chief of the wrestling realm could take a month off. And let's see what happened to the viewership, the engagement. Let's see what happened. Let's see what happened. No,
like Roman was saying.
Listen, go ahead. Take it. Take the Wednesdays off. Just take it for 2 weeks and watch what happens. Where's Hollywood? Why is Hollywood not there? Oh no, I'm not watching the wrestling room. That's how people feel about SmackDown.
No,
hey, look.
Make an announcement. Brian H returns to the wrestling realm on May 5th. Okay, watch what the build-up for that show is.
Well, Brian H, don't feel bad because that's why I don't advertise myself for championship culture. Because as soon as they see my face, they're like, I'm not watching. I'm like, dang. I was like, bro, don't put my face on no more stuff until after the fact, bro.
Oh,
like,
bro.
That's not the regular show.
That is facts. That is facts.
I was like, God dang, bro. First show I was on, they did like 12 views. I said, y'all some haters, bro. Like, what the heck? We just having a real conversation. I said, bro, don't put my face on nothing no more. So I don't feel bad, bro. I know what you're talking about. Cause trust me.
You killed the last time, though. You killed the last time.
He definitely did.
Yeah, because you didn't put my name on the thing. It was cool.
You daggone right.
Don't advertise me at all. Please, just let me show up. Now they're gonna be stuck. Cause god dang, I said, oh y'all some hate.
I put his name on the graphic halfway throughout the show.
Yeah. All I know is I'm gonna find brother Hugh. I'm gonna find brother Brandon. I'm like, yo. I'm gonna be so insufferable. I'm gonna make y'all come to all the after parties and also
make them do stuff.
Yes, see you know in the comments. There goes sis. She know what it is.
I'm telling you, if he doesn't finish this story, I'm going into a restaurant. I will pack up my bags and I will go home. It will be the longest ride home ever, and I would just be like, "Yep, not watching. I don't care what happens on Monday night after all. I don't care no, don't care.
I can't do it, bro.
Because you made me care about this for 2 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do
you made me invest in this. You made me sing adrenaline in my soul.
I can't do 3
every
years.
thought out of control every Monday and sometimes on Friday. Twice on Mondays most of the time. Like you say.
If Cody doesn't finish the story.
No. How many times do you think we're gonna hear his song?
It's gonna play 3 times on his way to the ramp because he gotta shake everybody's hand.
At least 3.
He gotta bring the wrestling club out with him. They're gonna be part of his
How can y'all not see this? I ain't never knew y'all love politicians so much.
Listen, you talk about some like politicians, man. You talk about some like politicking. Goodness gracious. I can't. What do you? This is. I'm not. You have made your case, Brian H. You really have. But come on, it's over. It's hanging up. Like, come on, man. It's okay. Shh, it's okay. Shh, it's okay. It's been 3 years, man. You guys had a good run. Now I'm gonna tell you what will be hilarious though. Roman Reigns loses at WrestleMania. Bloodline shows up on Monday Night Raw like Drew. Tonight we having a match and he wins. And then what if he becomes the World Heavyweight Championship literally the night after WrestleMania?
That would be great.
Or they take the briefcase from Damian and say we cashing this in.
Or like Drew wins, Damian cashes in, and the next Monday Roman shows up. Bloodline versus Judgment Day.
Mommy, remember that favor you owed me?
So now
we're getting a title match tonight.
Did y'all see Paul Heyman?
I was about to say, why was Drew and Paul Heyman talking?
I don't
trust. He gonna help take out Seth the night before.
Yep. See, there it is.
Y'all gonna be mad when the Bloodline lose night 1, because that's gonna really scare y'all. Everybody think they keep hyping this Bloodline rules. What if they lose?
Okay, so wait a minute. So if they
have to lose because we need the shenanigans of night 2.
See, that's what you think.
No, they have to win. It's because that's what's going to cause the
I
shenanigans.
mean, that's what I mean. To have the shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I said they got to. We need all of the. We need 1999 Monday Night Raw's War edition.
No, we don't. No, we don't. Stop it right there. No,
bro, I don't trust Triple H. Bro. I'm nervous now because I'm like, oh shoot, because this really might. They might be doing this just for us to think. Okay, they think we know we're going this direction. Now we're going to go in a different direction.
Look,
it's going to be no
DQ watching this. They got something.
I'm trying to figure out why all these people just came from this late. Like, why is everybody?
No I mean, they're going to have
up to the party late.
The tag match go end with no contest. And they be like, we don't know what's going to happen on night 2.
I said, screw the story, just went for the kids. No, kids got to understand disappointment is part of life. Just like him not coming to this class to help him with their homework.
That's exactly true.
I had to deal with my wrestling heartbreak when Macho Man, I had to watch him get bitten by that snake. I had to watch that. I had to watch Hulk Hogan lose to Yokozuna. I had to watch Bret Hart lose to Yokozuna. Shoot, I went through wrestling heartbreaks. Ric Flair, Macho Man passed out, and Ric Flair making him tap. I mean, him losing the WWF title.
Yo said kids to learn disappointment. It's like
it's a part of life. Dark.
Oh man, I was disappointed when freaking Macho Man won the World Heavyweight Championship WCW and then lost to that Monday Nitro. Right. When everybody cheated.
You forgot about this. We totally forgot about this scenario.
You know he's coming out.
No.
Yeah, you know he's coming out. He's been cleared of all wrongdoing. His stuff is back on websites. He wants his check.
Brian, we forgot to ask you something, Hollywood. And Hugh, I'm gonna fight you for not having us access. What is Trish Stratus win-loss record at Mania?
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
And I heard that y'all got that wrong. Win-loss record, that's so direct. But I know
sorry, realness. I had to hijack the show for a second.
I know she lost 2 matches.
See, that's the path that we were on. Remember?
Right.
She lost the Mickey and she lost the Jazz and Lita.
Thank you. That's exactly what we went through.
That's what we had,
and that's the only 2 we could think about.
Hold on, she lost another one. She didn't lose last year, so she won She won Snooki. She won.
We could only think of 2 that she lost.
That's the only 2 she lost.
According to them, she lost 3.
She wasn't in the actual match of 2000 or 2001. 2000 debut, 2001. Wait, she won the title at...
Because she had 7 WrestleMania matches, right?
Mm-hmm.
7 Mania matches. We can only say that she lost 2. Apparently, she lost 3. Because we had to do reverse. I was like, all I know is she lost to Mickey James because that's when she lost.
She beat Christy Hemme.
And then she lost in the triple threat match.
She beat her and Snooki won. She beat she won the title at 19. She didn't wrestle at 20 because she kissed Christian. 21, that was Christy Hemme, I think. Yeah, 22, 20. She was not at 23.
See, now I don't feel bad.
Yeah, see, I know I said it. Those are her only 2 losses.
It doesn't matter because we're the champions anyway.
They got some explaining to do.
Right. Good Lord.
Yeah, they messed up. My goodness. Look, I know
because we definitely was going through the motion. We were like,
I got a Trish Stratus shirt for a gift, so that I'll be rocking in Philly.
Oh, it's part of the wardrobe, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's WrestleMania fits. This is gonna be fun and exciting.
This year is more intentional than it's ever been.
Okay, all right. I feel you on that, brother.
I might finally wear my Jimmy shirt, the one that I haven't been able to wear in public.
One thing I would definitely do is wear in public. Is I would definitely listen to me. Bloodline of Usos got some good gear. I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like that family over everything. I was like, okay, all right.
I need that hoodie.
That stuff is fire. Like it's just like it's cool to be a wrestling fan again.
I had to pause my WrestleMania. I had to pause purchases because they keep coming out with fires, bro.
I'm telling you.
You see them side plates?
I did. I saw them on
Corey,
Instagram.
I was like, yo, it's a $325. That's the price of a belt, but I might have to.
That's what you, ladies and gentlemen, what you heard is called a conflict. That's what you heard.
You heard the
20.
30.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I always missed out. I missed out on the plates last year, thinking like, no, I'm gonna just wait because I don't want to pay $100. I'll wait till they go on sale. I missed out on 30 the last 2 years.
But they only released so many, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't take the risk this year, but because the merchandise been flying off the shelves all year, and this is WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's what I was talking to Coley about. I said, bro, if you flying in from Detroit, you better start buying some stuff now because you're gonna be trying to ship stuff back.
Not to mention, Fanatics is running the show now. You know what I mean? So they're gonna load up as far as merchandise and stuff is concerned.
Orioles belt. But I'm like,
I was ready to ask you that. What do you think about that White Sox belt that R-Truth had? That joint is fire.
Yeah, the White Sox is fire.
I'm getting it. Just the shape of a silhouette. I was like, yo, I need that. First of all, I've always been a White Sox fan ever since Michael Jordan fake played for the White Sox when he was with the Birmingham Barons.
Yeah.
But technically, I was like, this is still a White Sox. So I was literally, because that was my team growing up, because it was black and white. It looked cool. So like, shout out to Chi-Town and that Chicago White Sox championship. But I was like, oh, that's fire. It's the truth. I need that.
Brother Brian, how you really feel about the Orioles belt?
I like it.
No, I
like it better than the Ravens.
Well, he liked it because it's an orange stripe. But yeah, I'll give you that.
I didn't like the Ravens belt. The football, well, all the football belts look the same.
Yeah, they're shaped the same. Like the baseball belts have like a handful of silhouettes that they use.
Yeah.
And they just changed the
all
color.
different, but I think it's like they got like multiple.
It's like 5 or 6 different.
Yeah.
Modes that they use, and they just said, okay, add this here, add that there.
I don't like the Orioles, but it's too orange.
Thank you.
You said it's it got the bricks behind it, so it was kind of.
No, I get it because it's meant to be, it's meant to be like your team pride. You know what I mean? Of
warehouse,
but I'm
all
like,
that good stuff.
Yeah, but
the Twins is interesting because of how the color scheme on the front, half of it's red, half of it's blue. I thought that was kind of neat. I'm not.
I just really, honestly though, I really just want the side plates
for the Orioles.
Mm-hmm.
The regular size plates, like the standard size for.
Yeah, because when we was in Chicago and went to the store, I asked them like, are they going to be opening up more teams? Because they had the Cubs there. I think they only had the Cubs. I don't even think they didn't even have the White Sox. And mind you, this was November. But got it. Yeah, I really just want the side plates.
Yeah, because they sell the individual side plates for the sports teams. And so now it's about
Lindsay crying if Cody don't win.
Lynn, I'm telling you, brother, I'm just not. It's not going to be me. I can't do it. I cannot do another year. I am so nervous about WrestleMania. I am debating where I'm supposed to watch it at. Like, I might not want to be here. I don't want to be home. I might go to my mother's house. She has a giant TV, but I'm like, I don't want to be at her house because if I go insane, she's gonna be like, Dwayne, shut up. I'm trying to sleep. I'm like,
it's midnight. Why are you
right?
still
Exactly.
Up? It's midnight.
So it's like we got and I don't want to. Especially we got church tomorrow in the morning. I want to wake up early, so it's like I'm conflicted. Like I don't want to go out in public because I want the freedom to act a fool and people not look at me because I'm insane and I'm a giant and I can't be like going crazy and almost about to cry in front of people. This is not like
let's say you can't do it. You will learn. You may not like it, but you will learn to respect it, Lynn. If he doesn't go, if he wins, and we have another year of Roman, you will learn to respect it.
I can't deal with this.
I'm going to go in a coma.
No, I can't do it. I just because I'm nervous. Before, I'm like, no, that makes no sense. But then I'm like, bro,
call it bluff, man. Call it bluff.
No, nothing makes sense these days. Like I feel like they threw the rule book out, and I'm like, man, now I'm nervous. Now I'm gonna be watching WrestleMania with anxious nerves. Like, yo, I'm too old not to be knowing what's about to happen. Like I grew up on knowing what's about to happen. Now I'm confused. But like I said, we have to get out of here. This is man. Whew. Well, I'll say this though. We definitely answered the question. Are you ready for WrestleMania? The answer is no. Yes, at the same time.
I wasn't ready.
No. It's going to be insane. Shout out to you, good brothers. Ready. You guys will be in the house. Extremely proud of everybody and all the stuff they have coming up this week, next week, and the week after that. It's going to be so much to go on. Shout out to everybody that came into the show. Like all of a sudden, there's a lot of eyes on the product late, but it's okay though. You can go back and watch the complete show at youtube.com/The Wrestling Realm. Also, follow us on all social media platforms at Wrestling Realm 2Ws. Subscribe to our Patreon channel and our Twitch, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget Championship Culture every Tuesday, 8 p.m. on our YouTube channel as well. YouTube.com/The Wrestling Realm.
Make sure you spread the word. Make sure you spread the word that every girl has a story. I told a young lady at McDonald's that every girl has a story earlier today.
He really did, though.
Remember?
No, she said anything else. He said, no, everybody has a story.
Wow. So you went through the drive-through and you said everybody has a story.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. I can verify those facts.
Is there anything else you need? No,
Yo,
but everybody has a story.
Brother Hugh and
That's exactly how it went down.
During WrestleMania, go on Patreon, just $1. Listen to that story.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Whoa. Do I know the story?
Yes, you do. You heard
right
it
after
before.
WrestleMania 28, and we went to Wendy's.
Yep.
Let me go to Patreon real quick because I gotta. Wait a minute. I think I forgot this story, but I think I feel like I don't remember the story, but I remember it being funny.
Uh-huh.
Any other stories you want to tell from WrestleMania, Brian H?
Hey, go to Patreon.
Patreon.com/
Every WrestleMania has a story.
On that note, I'm not. Oh boy, I wonder what this WrestleMania story going to be.
Finishing that story.
There you go. That's the only story that we need from WrestleMania shit. We got to finish the goddamn story. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to everybody watching. We got to get out of here, man. We're having a good time. It's late, but it's okay though. Rum After Dark is up shortly, and you guys will not be privy to that. But guess what? You can. What I missed. Almost out of there. What'd you do?
Oh, look, Lynn said, yes, sir, we're finishing the story.
Brandon has a new late.
Oh, Lord, Dylan was quiet for a minute.
Oh, no. I know for a fact.
Dylan was quiet for a minute.
Oh, that's not good. That is not good.
Dylan
Yep, I stopped because I stopped paying attention
Dylan,
to the group messages.
Every belt has a story.
Wow.
Every belt has a story.
Where I missed that.
Oh boy, was that AI?
I don't know.
Every belt has a story.
Oh, the sound was muted.
AI.
Oh man,
Every belt has a story. 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 Every belt has a story.
And there it is.
You do realize that's going on all over social media. The fact that Dylan, Dylan.
Hey,
shout out to The Rock. He's obviously a fan of championship culture. And
He is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you all for joining us. Please subscribe. We didn't told you where everything is. Just do it. Just do it. Please enjoy your time before WrestleMania. We got to get out of here. We will see you all next week. Enjoy this last few weeks before the biggest, the baddest, the greatest WrestleMania of all time in Philly. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to go. We got to get out of here. Peace out. We'll see you next week. Ladies and gentlemen, WrestleMania season. We out.
Houston, we have a problem. Yes!